creepy and cool TikToks that will blow your mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
I think it's AI or CGI. What do you think? But the Smithsonian is hiding one of the largest collection of giant skeletons, weapons, tools. They've had so many, they had to reconstruct them into dinosaur skeletons. We can't trust anything any longer. Just stay with God to protect us from evil.
Tourist, Times Square. Elmo will cut you if you don't tip him. The CD guys will be like you don't like black people and then hand you a CD. The Venezuelan migrants are looking to rob you, and the Mexican migrants are down in the subway selling fruit. But this is below ground. You're going to see this, and this, but don't worry about it. The African migrants are going to be there, but they cool, don't worry about them. They just care about fake Jordans and soccer. They're going to try to sell you tickets to this bus, but this bus don't leave until it's full. So you may be sitting on that bus for hours, while you could just walk the whole experience. You could do all this by foot. Rise NYC sucks. Ripley sucks. Madame Tussauds, I enjoy, and it's pretty big. Dave and Buster's if you got some kids. They got plenty of video games. Some cheap eats is BBQs, chicken and fried food, and the place is huge. And all that is on 42nd between 7th and 8th. These are all the reasons why we avoid Times Square. Anyone that lives in New York hasn't been there in years.
This is scary, but if I ever go to the States, I'm still going to New York. Just be careful, don't flaunt and be aware of your surroundings. Ooh. That is nice.
Beautiful, my guys.
Beautiful, my guys. It's New York. You know what? That looks so good, but there will be $47 and $5,000 in Canada plus carbon tax.
My rock bottom was when I tried heroin. I told myself I would never try heroin. People that do heroin are dirty. You're at the devil's doorstep. And I had a tolerance at my worst of 10 rock sets 3 times a day, which is 30 rock sets, which is a lot. And we all know that a rock set is a 30 milligram oxycodone, and technically, what is that, like 90 per sets right there?
How constipated were you?
Yes.
2 weeks without taking a shit?
There would be times where I'm crying on the toilet.
Definitely days, but I think you tried to combat that with some sort of
Castor oil.
I know about castor oil now, but back then it would probably be some like fiber product.
Why would you want to do that? But I love the way that he reached out to everyone and apologized and really seemed like he wanted to make amends.
So here's reason 457 that crystal meth is different than other drugs. Think about cocaine, it's derived from the coca plant. If you think about heroin, it's derived from the poppy. The meth molecule is derived from a man in a lab. So when this chemical lands on your dopamine receptors in your brain, it burns it like a chemical. That's why you are high for 14, 16, or more hours. That's also why it takes 12 to 24 months for your brain to heal, to rewrite and overwrite all that burning that's been done to your neural pathways. You cannot trust your emotions, you cannot trust your thinking and decision making if they're based on emotions, and you cannot trust your thinking. Take a look at that document in my profile. It's 10 Ways to Quit Tina. They are extreme, but you have to be extreme in the beginning if you want to get rid of this chemical in your life.
Praying for everyone who has problems with drugs, alcohol, or any addiction. May God set you 100% free.
You want to hear something terrifying? The prophecy of the popes.
Oh boy.
This book in the Vatican archives predicted every single pope from 1143 all the way to our current pope. But the scary thing is, after Pope Francis, the last one, it just says Judgment Day.
Oh gosh.
It literally ends after Pope Francis?
Yes. The creepiest thing, inside St. Paul's Basilica, bordering the whole inner sanctuary, is a picture of every single pope. But what's weird is that there's only a certain amount of markers where you can put a picture. There's one left after Pope Francis. They have always said once that last slot is filled, it will be the end of the world. What he predicted, the time it took to go from the first pope that he wrote about to the halfway mark was 422 years. And he's saying from the middle one to the end, another 422 years will be the end of the world. If you do 422 from the middle pope, which was 1585, that year is 2027.
Dang!
It's even weirder. Pope John the 23rd, he said that the end of the world would happen 2,000 years plus Christ's life. So that adds up to 2027 as well.
I heard someone elaborate on this theory not too long ago, and the other theory is that it'll be the end of the papacy reign, not the end of the world.
This is the most humbled I've ever felt in my life. I'm literally holding resumes, a stack of them, so that I can go in person to places and say, are you guys hiring? It's honestly a little bit embarrassing because I'm literally applying for like minimum wage jobs, and some of them are being like, we're not hiring, and it's like, what? This is not what I expected. I graduated college with 2 degrees in communications and acting. I speak 3 languages. Oh, this sucks. Like, I just want to be a TikToker if I'm being so for real with you. But I can't be delusional anymore. Like, I literally need to make money, so I'm just gonna keep trying.
What did you expect with that kind of degree? There are so many impractical degrees. You know, I talk to many tech boys. That's why we call them here, by the way. They don't even go to university. They attend boot camps for under 6 months, studying cybersecurity, software engineering, and data engineering, to name a few. You know, once they're done, they start entry-level jobs with salaries ranging from 70 to 100,000 a year. And the nicest thing is they work remotely. They work here from Bali, where the cost of living is super cheap compared to Western countries. And the average Joe here, makes $500 per month and live comfortably. There is one in Dublin that is being uncovered that was owned by the Guinness family.
Superfoods I'm making sure my little girl gets every single day, and you should too if you have kids. Number 1 would be moringa. Moringa is one of the most powerful superfoods on the planet. It's a superhero multivitamin. It's packed with minerals, nutrients, aminos, all the important building blocks of life, loaded with antioxidants. Moringa also helps you detox. It gets rid of the bad stuff in the body so that these little beings can grow up healthy. And it keeps your tummy happy and working well. Number 2 would be beets. Beets are like a secret weapon. They have lots of vitamins, minerals, and also are loaded with nitrates. So talk about nitric oxide. It improves blood flow, helps your muscles, gives you more energy, increases more of a VO2 max or oxygen in the body, which is great for kiddos, their growing body and their body's needs. Number 3 would be lemons. They're packed with vitamin C, antioxidants, and they help with phase 2 liver detoxification, which I like because we are being bombarded by toxins and chemicals today, my friend. So make sure your little ones are healthy. Moringa, beets, and lemons, which is why I actually added these to or Organifi Easy Greens. It's a delicious blend of superfoods that's handcrafted, glyphosate residue free, organic for their little bodies and all of their needs.
Moringa grows everywhere in my area.
Some teeth actually exploded in people's mouths back in the 1800s.
What?
And no one knows exactly why this happened. One theory is that this incredibly rare phenomenon occurred when untreated cavities began to create gas as the tooth decayed. Due to poor dental health, it built up pressure as more gas was released. And after a while, the pressure was so high that the damaged tooth couldn't handle it and allegedly exploded.
Can imagine the pain. New fear unlocked.
I feel cared for. And you guys, what's in the IV drip? Is it just magnesium?
What's in the drip is potassium and magnesium.
Oh, okay.
So the potassium and the magnesium are very important electrolytes, okay, for the functionality of your heart and the strength of your heart as well. They're there and they're serving as cardiac protectors. You're going to be receiving this IV drip, sweetie, continuously throughout the 8 or 12 hours that you are in this treatment room. Dr. Bautista is going to be coming in and he's going to be checking how your body is reacting to the medicine, okay? Depending on where your vitals are at and depending on where your QT segment is at, is whether they determine to add more magnesium into your drips, but you will be maintaining a permeable intravenous access during this experience, okay?
Okay.
If at any time, sweetie, you get thirsty, because the anti-nausea medication that we use does sometimes cause dry mouth. Not so much dehydrate, but it will make you feel like you've got cotton mouth or dry mouth. Ask for some water, okay? You get to practice something very beautiful today, Troy, and that is asking for your needs to be met. All right, so whether that's helping you blow your nose, whether that's helping you get a drip of water, whether that's holding your hand to help ground you, we're here for that, okay? Some people always say, but I don't want to bother. It's no bother. You know this, okay? We're here for you today.
That makes me feel good.
Excellent.
Okay, do people do this just for the experience alone, or is it solely for people with addictions? Let me know in the comment, please.
Are we living in the upside down? Did Mark Zuckerberg just say that Donald Trump was a what? Hold on.
I've done some stuff personally in the past. I'm not planning on doing that this time. And that includes, not endorsing either of the candidates. Now, look, there's obviously a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. The historic events over the last, over the weekend. And, personal note, it's, seeing Donald Trump get up after getting shot in the face and pump his fist in the air with the American flag is one of the most badass things I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
But look, it's, and I think, look, at some level as an American, it's like hard to not get kind of emotional about that spirit and that fight. And I think that's why a lot of people like the guy.
Oh my, how the tides have turned. And is it just me, or does the one we've been seeing look completely different from this one? Timeline jump, huh? Because for some reason, that looks like the older Mark Zuckerberg from back that we remembered. I could be wrong, I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Think he's had a change of heart?
For those who don't know, Mark Zuckerberg has gotten in shape by doing combat sports. His confidence has increased and his style has changed as a result.
Has found this perfectly cut trillion-ton rectangular iceberg 3 times the size of Manhattan near the east coast of the Antarctic Peninsula. People are saying it's like a glitch in the Matrix. Although it does kind of look like it holds the secret to Atlantis, it's supposedly a completely natural phenomenon called a tabular iceberg and not man-made. Senior support scientist Jeremy Harbeck actually found the iceberg back in 2018, but the internet is just finding out about it now. The largest tabular iceberg in recorded history measures around 4,200 square miles, meaning that if it were a country, it would be the 166th largest in the world.
That iceberg is too perfectly cut for it to be natural thing. What do you think?
Why would they have
Ooh.
I love this.
Oh, this is in the Tennessee, I think. Nashville, Tennessee.
Giant doors.
Why on earth would they get doors this big? Why on earth would they need doors this big? Snake.
Metal.
I can reach 8 feet.
It is strange with all buildings, these tall doors with handles and locks too large and high. You know, too many stories of giants in many cultures.
We're not going to believe how much this Japanese house is listed for. This 2-story, 6-bedroom vacation home located in Shimohara in Sanjo, Niigata was built 50 years ago. It's within walking distance to the nearest onsen and a cafe, and it's a 5-minute drive to the nearest campsite. And it's only an hour from Niigata airport by car. This house was built on 200 square meters of land with 111 square meters of living space. The kitchen and the bathroom are recently renovated, and you don't need to worry about termites since the house is built on stilts.
Wow.
The parking area can fit 3 cars, and you can also have your own little garden next to your home. And here's the crazy part. The asking price for this spacious Japanese house is 2.5 million yen, or $16,000.
$16,000?
What kind of a house can you get with $16,000 in your home country? Let me know in the comments.
$16,000? I think it's super cheap with a house like that. But let me know how you feel about this.
This sheep raises baby elephants who have lost their mothers and helps get them ready to return to the wild. Her name is Lammy the Legend, and her career as a surrogate mother actually began back in 2014 when she bonded with a baby rhino named Little G. Little G lost his parents at 3 months old, and when he was rescued and brought to the Endangered Species Center, his relationship with Lammy formed naturally. He arrived at the center confused and weak, unable to fend for himself. But when he met Lammy, his behavior changed. And the more they bonded, the more he became ready to take on the world. Eventually, Little G grew strong enough to be released into the wild, thanks in part to Lammy, who gave him the chance to bond with another animal the way that he would with his mother. And that wasn't the end of the story for Lammy, as she had clearly found her purpose. Now, Lammy lives at the Herd Trust Elephant Orphanage in South Africa, helping orphaned elephants grow up strong and socialized, just like she helped Little G. And now she has a helper named Spotty, who has the same natural mothering skills that she does. Together, they raise elephant calves as their own, grazing together and even sleeping together as a family, until each baby elephant is strong enough and old enough to go back to the wild.
That is amazing. Go Lammy and Spotty.
How wild are things today? You can Uber a private jet.
Whoa guys, look, I'm right now in Milan and I want to go to Nice and I'm going to book an Uber jet for 17,759 euros. It's a bit expensive, but it's for the experience. Let's see how it works out and let's enjoy. So they sent me a V-Class then to go straight to the private jet. It's sick. We go with Captain. Let's go. Hello.
Welcome.
Can
I'm
I just
Anna. Would you like me to help you?
Yes, thank you. Guys, it's kind of big. I didn't expect that to be that big. Whoa, look at this. Yo, EasyJet is not playing though. Serious one. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess this is the new era.
Yep. I'm more impressed that the $17,000 purchase went through without having to verify from the bank.
Here's the most terrifying drug on the planet. Ingested, it is guaranteed to give you horrifying hallucinations.
He ain't lying.
He ain't lying.
Just seeing it again, just reliving it. Happened 30 years ago. It was the most terrifying thing I've ever experienced in my life. When I tell you I see every single demon there is, I'm not lying.
I believe you, bro.
It's like you enter another dimension where everything seems so real. I came home at 5 o'clock in the morning and I didn't even have my shoes on. I don't know how the happened. It makes acid and shrooms look like Flintstone vitamins.
There's a lady in Germany who was determined to be possessed. She was working with a priest. She never did receive complete deliverance from the demonic oppression and then she eventually died.
At 23 years old, she died.
In a few moments, you're going to hear the terrifying real audio recordings. Emily Rose was diagnosed with epilepsy, but her family refused to believe this, as they were convinced demonic possession was the cause of her symptoms.
She started experiencing this at 16 years old, and she would go to 6 different voices she would make, right? And each voice sounds different. Try making this sound naturally.
Wow. Hmm. Ooh. Oh. In the name of Jesus.
Like if you really try to yourself make this sound naturally, go try to do it.
You can make her crazy
You know what? Hey, Emily Rose isn't her real name though. It's Annalise Michelle. Most terrifying possession ever.
We come from monkeys until I found out that evolution's all a scam. So basically the world is about 6,000 years old, just like the Bible says. It has a firmament, just like the Bible says.
Satellites out there. What do you say to that when all these satellites out there in space?
There are some satellites that are on balloons. That's why NASA is the #1 user of helium in the world. NASA controls 99% of the helium supply. They're taking satellites, filling up balloons with helium and hooking satellites to these balloons. They float up about 120, 130,000 feet. That's as high as a balloon's gonna go. Now, if you believe in satellites that they're actually in space, then you believe that there's about 50,000 or 100,000 satellites traveling around at 17,500 miles an hour. A bullet don't even travel that fast. Do you really believe that there are 50,000 satellites in space right now, 100 miles up in the air, traveling around the planet faster than a bullet? They don't need maintenance. They don't need a fuel source. There's no other proof of them other than NASA says that they're there. Do you really believe that? I'm telling you that nothing in the world can travel 20,000 miles an hour continuously with no fuel source. I'm telling you, we can't even get something to fly that fast, let alone do it with no fuel source, and they're not hitting into each other and blowing up. If you so much as hit a piece of dust, you're gonna kaboom because of the speed at which you're going. So you're telling me that 100,000 or 50,000 satellites are in orbit 20,000 miles an hour and they haven't hit a piece of dust and they're not falling back to Earth all the time? No, brother, let me tell you the truth. These satellites are on balloons, and that's why you can go right now and you can pull up a video of a satellite with a balloon attached to it, because when these satellites crash back to Earth, they always have a balloon attached to them.
This is a video of a satellite falling to the ground in Indonesia with a balloon attached.
Oh, maybe Bryce is right. Maybe I'm not a brain dead, dumb hillbilly. Well, maybe I am, but I'm still right, you know?
Keep going.
You know what, brother? No matter what you are speaking facts, the scared people are always going to call you crazy.
Coffee mate is flammable. Watch this. If you take it, woo, and you are drinking that.
It's called particle to air ratio. Has nothing to do with the chemicals in the creamer. Wait till he discovers how flammable his cinnamon powder is.
What?
I think it's beautiful and artistic.
I don't know what to tell you, bud. We're just shooting funerals and showing the ones where the bodies fly out. You're saying coffin flops, not a show. There's no explanation, just body after body busting out of shit wood and hitting pavement.
No way.
You must have rigged something. I didn't do. I didn't rig. I've been waiting a long time for a hit on Corncob Demon. I didn't do this.
I noticed the Mason symbol on the tombstone.
Were you guys aware that Michelle Obama's mother passed away? This was like about a month ago, y'all. I didn't even know that. Marianne Robinson, were you guys aware of this? It says Michelle Obama's mother dies, leaves inheritance to my son Michael.
No way.
Michelle Obama's mother, Mary McGillicuddy Robinson, has died at the age of 84. She went peacefully in her sleep before being mostly devoured by her Lhasa Apso, which is a dog. And Chicago police ruled out any foul play. It says the real story, however, is how she worded her last will and testament. According to Illinois Comptroller and keeper of the public record, Art Tubulus, Michelle doesn't legally exist. It says Ms. Robinson will clearly states that her possession should go to my son Michael Robinson Obama. That's interesting. I mean, only a mother would know their child. You know what I'm saying? Oh, really, only a mother would know her child. But that's crazy. I had no idea. Rest in peace to her. And I think this argument is probably settled now. You know what I'm talking about. You like the content? Follow me for more videos like this. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. We are in this shift. Let's get it. Peace in.
This is wild. Let me know how you feel about this.
People I ain't fighting. If he clipped his cigarette while smoking in this squatting position, I ain't fighting. If he ride his bike to the store with the G-Unit tank top, these socks, to get a King Cobra, I ain't fighting. If he walks on the grass and had a spare tire in his car for over a month and turns his TV on with a PS4 controller,
I ain't fighting.
Any Dollar General person that got put all this away because they got bad credit over Rent-A-Center, I ain't fighting. Any white boy that eats a 7-Eleven hot dog 8 in the morning with a Monster Energy drink and works 8 hours in the sun, I ain't fighting. Any dude in the Atlanta airport that works with a wheelchair assistance, I ain't fighting. And ladies, that young girl behind this counter, she ready to fight.
Ho ho ho. I forgot about the G-Unit tank top. Was very popular even in Indonesia.
Most people don't know that this is the scariest spot in the United States for those afraid of heights. Many people wouldn't dare to walk upright on it, even if offered $10,000. The Grand Canyon Skywalk, located in the vast state of Arizona, stands on the edge of the canyon. It is a 770-foot high sky bridge, about 65 feet wide. The skywalk extends 70 feet outward from the nearest support pillar at the canyon wall. What makes it terrifying is that all the materials used to construct it are transparent glass, allowing you to see the canyon clearly through the floor. Despite its sturdiness, you can feel it sway noticeably when strong winds blow across the walkway, causing many visitors to crawl rather than walk. Even though the skywalk is frightening, it attracts over 1 million visitors each year.
What?
The ticket price for the Grand Canyon Skywalk is $60, and visitors are prohibited from bringing cameras or phones onto the skywalk, preventing them from capturing the beautiful sunset over the canyon. If you were offered $10,000, would you dare to walk upright on it?
Yeah, I would. But $60 and no phones to take a picture of being on there? I get having a personal memory, but nothing to show for it? Hard pass.
Instead of paying teachers more so they can live comfortable in New York City, they're just going to get rid of state tests because they don't care about your kids. All they keep on doing is lowering the bar. She made this legal, open use legal. No punishment for this. He welcomed all of them here to the city till he realized the government wasn't going to flip that bill. And now he don't want them. So instead of investing in these kids, giving teachers a nice starting salary, $62,000 to start, the rent's going to be like $4,000. A lot of teachers leave because of the pay and the cost of living in New York City. But no, she wants more casinos, new jails, new stadiums, a new 2nd Avenue Q train to go all the way up. Let's be real. The only reason they want the Q train to go all the way up 125th next to the Metro North, so those Metro North people can get right on and not go through 125th. And she legalized sports betting. And everybody now just watches the sports based on their bets and not actually the game.
This isn't even the city of dreams anymore.
Thailand, a new method for stopping criminals has been devised. When a threatening attacker approaches with a knife, police use these grapplers, which will effectively taunt the threat and make him unable to move. So this allows the police to put the person in handcuffs safely.
Why this timeline jump is different, all the star seeds, all the chosen ones, this message is going to resonate with you. But there are a few people that are still stuck in the 3D. They're not ready to ascend. They are not like us, and that's okay. We need to love them, give them grace when they call us crazy, give them grace when they say things like, you're on drugs. They're not ready, and we got to love them no matter what. But some interesting things with this timeline shift is the overwhelming sense of peace. Like before the shift last weekend, it was almost like we were waiting for the end of the world. But as I explained, the end of the world scenarios are gone because the Creator desires creation. And that's what we're here to do, is to have new creation. And then the ones that aren't ready to ascend will say, well, God doesn't make mistakes. But see, I beg to differ because of the days of Noah and the mud flood. And, you know, with the Creator design creation, there's always evolving. There's always improvements. And that's what we're doing. We're ascending. And another part to this that I find interesting is what celebrities are being chosen to be back to life. Like, we all know Richard Simmons is died a couple times, Shannon Doherty. But what I researched is now they're showing Carol Burnett is still alive when I know she passed away. Ted Danson is still alive and I know he passed away. And I don't know what the purpose is, but these whole bringing celebrities back, I don't know.
The yellow sun is back. The skies look better. Decisions are coming to a head, folks.
This would be absolutely terrifying. So when you think of night vision, most people think of night vision goggles with a green hue. But did you know during the Vietnam War, they were testing red light night vision goggles? Now, I've heard multiple people talk about this on podcasts. I've read about it a couple of times. Let's dive into it. So certain soldiers were equipped with these red light night vision goggles, and they all started seeing something. There was a common experience that all of them were having. When they would put on the night vision goggles, they would see ghosts, demons, shadow figures. There was one account that I read about where a helicopter was flying throughout the night. Everything was fine until the gunner just started blasting bullets into the air. The crew couldn't tell what he was shooting at, and he just kept screaming that he needed to kill the demon. So an officer in the helicopter commanded him to pull off the night vision goggles. Everybody was confused because there was nothing there, but when the officer put on the goggles, he saw the same thing. And this was not an isolated event. There are hundreds and hundreds of reports of these soldiers that wore these red light goggles that would continually see these demons, and as soon as they would look at them, they would come after them. The military then banned the use of these red light goggles 60 days after they came in. So were they seeing demons? Well, many psychologists actually say that due to the high stress, the crazy environment that they were in, and the crimson view from these goggles, it would cause their mind to conjure up these images. The goggles also had a chemical in them called dianin, and dianin is now known to cause hallucinations and altered perceptions. And it was actually banned by many international chemical regulation authorities after the war because of all the harm it did and insane side effects. But the jury is still out. Some people do believe that these were just hallucinations, while a lot of others believe that these red light goggles gave them a glimpse into another world.
I think two people cannot share the same hallucinations. What do you think?
Why is it that I've been chronically sick for years, but the moment that I move to France, it just disappears? I've been here for under a month, and my stomach issues have significantly improved to the point where it doesn't even feel like I'm sick anymore. I now suddenly have energy. I'm no longer in pain all the time, and everything seems to be functioning the way it should. And I've been eating more unhealthy here than I was in the US. And the only thing that's changed is where my food is coming from. I've noticed the fruits go bad within 2 days. The bread gets stale within a few days. You know, kind of like it should. As if there's no additives on there. And now I don't feel sick anymore. Also, the fruit just tastes so much better.
Just my opinion. European food is better probably because they don't go heavy on sweeteners, sugars, etc. Where's my European people at? Drop your comment, please. Look at that. Wow. Looks like it was probably a mine or something.
Y'all to see this. I had to see it, so you do too, and I would like to discuss it.
Some aliens are already here in the tunnels, and they've been eating our kids for like, the Rothschilds have been feeding them. Because they kidnap the kids and they feed it to them.
Do you think that they take like the fetuses from Planned Parenthood and like feed it to the aliens?
They love babies.
Ooh.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Just, it gets better.
Jesus Christ. But Captain Thor has that under control.
Commander Thor.
Commander. I'm sorry.
I mean, there's so much to tell you that it's just like, I can just show you something real quick.
And he's from beyond the ice wall.
Yes.
So where do we get this lie that the earth is round? Like, who even started that?
It's true that the 1900s, and it was the Rothschilds and Rockefellers. They lied to you about everything. Everything you've ever learned in school is all a big, fat, huge lie.
And where do you learn everything? Like, how'd you figure out all this information? Because I've never even heard about Commander Thor.
Commander Thor.
Because I've been on True Social. And I found out before I was on True Social because I just happened to find it on Telegram. And then I was on Parler.
Okay. So I think that part of what she said is true. Yes, everything we've ever been told is a lie. But at a certain point, we need to sit back and really think and, critically think about the information we're taking in. And while I understand, we can't really confirm or deny. And yeah, there's a lot of conspiracy theories. And I'm absolutely a conspiracy theorist. These are the people that we walk amongst. And these are the people probably that are, voting. So I just want to discuss this. So what are your thoughts on this?
Don't go anywhere because we still have fire clips after fire clips back to back.
Japan offers a 2-year residency without a business or an investment. The startup visa reduces the stress in the beginning, as you do not need to have an income or a company in Japan. So you do not need an established business yet. Instead, the country allows 6 to 24 months to start a business and then transition to a business manager residency, which has unlimited renewals, and you may bring your spouse, children, and your parents.
So this is basically the song Stan from Eminem.
That's
right?
what a lot of people say, yeah, about this case. Every single thing that Björk put out, he had to buy it. He had to own it, possess it. Even if a magazine just had a small little who wore it best segment on Björk with one picture, he would buy the whole thing. It's like the more he owned of these products, the closer he was to her. He starts keeping up with where she's promoting what song, doing what tour. I mean, he was almost keeping tabs on all of her whereabouts. He starts writing a 803-page journal documenting his love for Björk. 803 pages. Everything he learns about her, how it makes him feel, he doesn't want to forget a single thing. Interestingly, his journals would bounce back and forth between his love for Björk. He wrote her name in that journal over 400 times. He made at least 150 references to himself being a failure and over 50 references of violence, ranging from violence against himself and straight up murder.
Murdering the Björk?
Yeah. And it's starting to piss him off a little bit that she never writes back to him because he's writing her letters. He's part of her fan club. He says, if she had just written back just once, I would have been happy, but she didn't. Instead, the worst day of Ricardo's life happens. She has a lover. There in the print, in the words, states that she's in a relationship with a music producer named Goldie. He flies into a rage. He starts spiraling in the video diaries, thinking about what the two of them have done together intimately. He says she broke the worst law you can break, in my book. She went out with a black man and him. Probably went down on him too. Who knows? She probably even got him in the back. Like,
my God.
He goes on a rant of how all the black men are taking the white woman.
The guy is insane.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Mirage officially closed. It's around midnight the next day after closing, and they are wasting no time. Fences going up at the entrances. Piece of Vegas has died today. Fences are going up. Rest in peace to the Mirage.
Ooh. First Tropicana and now Mirage. What's happening to Vegas?
Want to hear an alien story? Please. It happened in 1961, and it was this man named Joe Simonton, a chicken farmer in Eagle River, Wisconsin. He was sitting in his kitchen eating a vital lunch, he said. And then all of a sudden, he says what he describes as silver bowls float down into his yard, not a sound, and he immediately ran outside. He said this hatch opened. There's a little man inside of it, probably about 5 foot tall, and he was holding a container, and he was gesturing like water.
Yeah.
And then he walked up to the man, grabbed the container, filled it up with water, and noticed that they were cooking something in the ship. He said it looked like they were cooking like pancakes.
What?
And so he said, gestured like, can I have one? They gave it to him, and then said this little man like, thank you. And he said they closed the hatch and said it lifted up, went at a 45-degree angle, and then shot off and was gone over the horizon in 2 seconds.
What in the world?
This is the crazy thing. A university also tested the pancake, and it was wheat that is only found in like Europe.
Now that's the relationship we need to have with aliens. I'm joking. There's no alien, only demons.
What Enoch saw when he was taken to heaven. After 2 angels invited him to heaven, he was taken to the clouds, which would be the first heaven. As they ascended, they eventually came to a very dark place, full of prisoners crying as if they were in pain. These were the angels who rebelled at the beginning against God, bound in the second heaven. The third heaven is where paradise is, and right in front of it is hell. In the fourth heaven are the moon and the sun. In the fifth heaven are countless massive beings, also known as the Gregories, who are in a state of endless sorrow, as they were the Anunnaki, and once descended to earth and were contaminated with women, now awaiting judgment along with the Prince of Rebellion. In the sixth heaven are all the cherubim, seraphim, phoenix, and celestial creatures. In the seventh heaven are angels with many eyes. I believe they are the Ophanim. The eighth heaven controls and changes the seasons. The ninth heaven has many constellations and galaxies. But when Enoch finally reaches the 10th heaven, that's when he sees God face to face. Enoch says that God's face is wonderful, but also very fearsome, terribly terrifying. If you want a video about that, click share, then more, and comment God's face.
Did Enoch come back after ascending? If not, then I don't know which Enoch told you what he saw.
Walk slower in your workplace when you start a job, because if you go in and you do things very quickly and you walk quickly and people ask you, managers ask you to do something or go and get something and you do it incredibly fast, that is a standard that you have set yourself, aka making a rod for your own back. You can't come away from that. And if you suddenly slow down, you're going to get highlighted and noticed for underperforming. And what can that lead to? Performance reviews being micromanaged, and you become a problem and you could eventually lose your job. So I would always walk slow, and I wouldn't accept additional tasks. So when we were in a meeting, I wouldn't put my hand up when they were like, right, who wants to take on this project that you're not going to get paid for? Who wants to do the step up role for the manager position that's available for the next 6 months? It's a step up. It's more responsibility, aka we're not going to pay you for it, but you've got to do all the roles of a manager and even come in earlier, but we're not going to pay you for it. But it'll be great experience and responsibility for you. No, I'm not a mug. I'm not going to be bent over a barrel.
There's a saying, willing horse gets all the work.
A runaway cow was accepted by a herd of deer in New York after she managed to escape slaughter, but now she's out of the woods in more ways than one. Bonnie was born on a farm in Holland, New York, but when she was 4 months old, the owner of her farm passed away. The farmer's family decided to sell his cows, and Bonnie was set to be sold to another farm that raises cattle for beef.
Oh, man.
But when she was being loaded onto the new farm's trailer, Bonnie took the opportunity to bolt into the nearby woods. Soon, people started reporting sightings of a suspicious cow on their security cameras, accompanied by a herd of deer that was evidently happy to let a funny-looking deer join their family. One woman named Becky started seeing Bonnie and friends on her own wildlife cameras, and she knew that while the situation was definitely cute, something needed to be done. After all, no matter how much Bonnie loved her new friends, she was a domesticated animal who wouldn't survive long in the wild, especially since winter was only getting harsher, and some neighbors were threatening to harm Bonnie if she wandered onto their property. So Becky began the process of earning Bonnie's trust, and and she put out a sled full of food for the deer cow each day. Soon, Bonnie really warmed up to Becky, and Becky knew that it was time to help transfer her to a new, loving home. She contacted Farm Sanctuary, a nonprofit that rescues abandoned and neglected farm animals. The rescue team was able to successfully corral Bonnie and bring her to her new home. Now, Bonnie has completely settled in, and she'll live the rest of her life surrounded by friends of her own kind, telling stories about the funny-looking cows that she used to hang out with.
God bless Becky. Bonnie is really smart. She knew not to go to a secondary location. How not to get kidnapped 101.
Welcome to Pedophile Island, the most notorious place in Michigan. This place is extremely hard to get to. We had people with charter planes cancel on us, and we had to hire someone to boat us out there. But this place holds dark secrets. The full video of us exploring this island is on my YouTube now.
This is crazy. Does Drake live there?
The largest cat in the world has been spotted all around the globe, and you'll be amazed at how quickly it's growing. This American cat, which escaped from a laboratory, started making headlines from its very first appearances. Here are the first videos captured in Asia. It was later seen on a highway in the Czech Republic. Its subsequent growth is simply incredible. Still in Asia, look at how gigantic it is compared to cars now. This cat doesn't care about anything.
Look at that.
It lounges on monuments, relaxes, and suns itself. It's astonishing. No one has ever seen
Looks
a
like
cat
my
this
cat.
huge. At first, it was much smaller, although already impressive. It was about 2 to 3 times the height of a human. Now, it might be 5 to 10 times that height. Then, suddenly, it reaches dimensions of 20, 30, even 40 times the height of a human. It's crazy. Its growth ultimately reaches a stratospheric size. Look at its final size. It's absolutely phenomenal. An incredible sight. Scientists are baffled by this unprecedented growth, and researchers around the world are eager to study this extraordinary phenomenon. This colossal cat has become a global sensation, capturing the imagination of millions.
Oh my god, it's Kittyzilla. It looks like my cat Carla though.
Did you ever hear of that psychic who predicted Russia building a submarine? What do you mean? The CIA, they literally had psychics on staff. The U.S. intelligence, they collected this satellite footage of this really strange giant building that they were building in this remote part of Russia. They brought it to this guy, gave him the coordinates. Like, can you get anything from that? He's like, I see that they're building something big. And they gave him a picture, that's what they're building. Do you know what it's for? And was like, they're building a submarine in it. And they're like, can you describe it? And he said it will be the biggest submarine ever created. And so they wrote out the full report and they gave it to the defense secretary, whatever. The guy's like, a psychic wrote this stuff down? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, and he wrote up at the top, or you're a lunatic, and gave it back to him. They're not anywhere near an ocean or a river or anything. But then they did new satellite photos. They dug a new river, and it was, in fact, a new submarine. They said it was 2 football fields long.
Oh my
The
gosh.
biggest submarine ever created.
That's nuts.
And the guy wrote back, he's like, who's the lunatic now?
I was not expecting Harry Potter to be telling us this.
This is a story on why I don't think flat earthers are stupid. I once did. I once thought they were absolutely crazy. These people still exist? How can anyone think the earth is flat? I'm not a scientist. I know nothing about what our earth looks like, but I will tell you this. I'm a professional effects and video editor. And one day, about in 2014, I was putting together a video for a client, and they wanted some shots of the earth from space. So I said, okay, that should be easy. Let me go look this up. I thought surely there would be some stock footage from a satellite, recording video of our earth. Why not? I could not find any. Everything that I found was CGI and fake. I'm like, why is this all fake? Official NASA website releasing footage that's CGI. I spent the next 3 days digging at all this archives and ISS footage, surprisingly find out that they use green screen and everything's fake. I don't know what the earth looks like, but I guarantee you NASA is lying to us.
Hey everybody, it's Sean Hilbler from Hill Productions. I was watching the ISS quote-unquote live, and check this out.
Wow.
Pay attention, right in this area. Whoop. I mean, for the love of God. If you guys still think this shit's real...
One thing is for sure, NASA has been lying to us for a very long time.
would have just burned away. I would just set Jesus on fire instead of crucifying him.
What?
I saw a TikTok. There's this girl and she did like this skit and she goes up to David and she goes, "Oh my God, David, what was it like being the king and being like this?" And he goes, "Forget that." He goes, "What is it like having the Holy Spirit?" And I was like, dang, that hit me because I would always look up to David and be like, man, I want to be like David. But it came to be true that like we have what David could never have, and it was the Holy Spirit. 10 years of me being in this industry and I was running around and I thought I was a Christian, but I was a Christian by name. And I'm running around and I'm doing the will of myself, but I'm labeling it like I'm Christian. But what comes with that is no peace, anxiety, depression. And so when I started circling around peace, I felt this, like you said, it's like you can't measure it. But I opened up my scripture and I asked God for wisdom. And I read it and I read this verse that changed my life. Because I've read this verse multiple times, but it didn't hit me. But now it did. And it says, "Seek first the kingdom and then the rest shall come." If we wake up and we find God's purpose for us today, first, we don't battle with evil anymore. And we won't need to take from anybody anymore. When I first started my podcast, there was no way I thought I would have you as a guest. And then I was like, wait a second, why am I moving with fear? I'm moving with fear, and when I move with fear, I worship Satan. If I worship Satan, then of course I'm going to feel dark and depressed and anxious. And then I said, no, I'm going to move with faith. And all of a sudden, all of my dream guests started coming out of nowhere. That wasn't my...
Amen, amen. We got the Holy Spirit, folks. Even King David was jealous of us.
So I want to show you a comparison video of what stars and planets actually look like just from a camera alone. Cameras with good zooms. They zoom in further than a lot of telescopes. All right, the Nikon P1000, Nikon P950, Nikon P900. I mean, you can zoom in incredible. And what they tell us these planets are, these pictures of these planets, they're cartoons. That's all they are. They're cartoons. Now, anyone can go out, purchase a camera, purchase a telescope, and look for yourself. And what they're showing us, what NASA's showing us, is just not true. Let me show you what stars and planets actually look like. Watch this, please. Now, it just boggles my mind that there are still people that don't understand this. But at the same time, there are so many people that just won't go out and buy one of these cameras or buy one of these telescopes. In my opinion, if you still think we're spinning on a ball and you still think that these planets seriously look like these cartoon drawings, then I really recommend you invest $200 in yourself and your brain and your heart and get a camera and look up at the stars, because they are not telling us the truth. And it's a real shame, because the real truth is beautiful and they're hiding it from you. I love you all. Now take a look at this. This is a star from a telescope of 250 times zoom. And this was caught on this. Now take a look at this. This is pretty insane. They called this God's hand. Just watch this. This is nuts.
It's great time that we are getting a beyond the firmament look at how all of this is being maintained. Basically, like watching a play. The audience only sees what's on their side, but so much work is going on behind that curtain. To make it all possible, I get more of a Matrix or simulation vibe from this.
So on the top, we have what NASA tells us a star looks like, which is absolutely ridiculous and not true at all. And on the bottom, we have what a star actually looks like through a camera. This is a camera. I just picked up a Nikon P950 for $200. And this is a 900. This doesn't even zoom in as far. That's what a star really looks like. But, you know, you can continue to be lied to, or you can learn the truth. It's up to you, really.
Still, same pattern. Now you can
What is
defocus
that?
like this on the moon, the sun, and it doesn't happen. You don't see this pattern. You only see this pattern in the middle of stars. Wow, that's incredible. Just incredible.
So when people like her come and show you that this is what Venus looks like, I showed you what Venus really looks like. And then they'll tell you that this is what Mars really looks like. These are just cartoon images made and produced. Look at this. Jupiter. How can you look at that and think that that is real? They're just cartoons. Cartoon balls. That's it.
I really recommend you invest $200 in yourself and your brain and your heart and get a camera and look up at the stars, because they are not telling us the truth, and it's a real shame because the real truth is beautiful and they're hiding it from you. I love you all, and remember, this is obviously just for your entertainment. You know what I mean? Entertainment only. I don't know why they don't get this. I mean, what do I have to do? Do I have to put on clown makeup, or just tell me, TikTok, what do I need to do to make it entertainment so you stop messing with my videos? Love you all, and this is for entertainment.
NASA told Nikon to discontinue these cameras, and they did. Take a guess, why?
Ivermectin, one of the most well-known common antiparasitics, and if you have cancer, here's what you need to know about its anti-cancer mechanisms of action. Well supported, but yet most misinformed about. Number one, it inhibits what's called the WNT beta-catenin pathway. This is a pro-growth pathway. Number two, it induces apoptosis. This is programmed cell death leading to cancer cell destruction. Number three, it induces autophagy. This is kind of a spring cleaning, and this can be good, it can be bad, but here it can be good in early stages of cancer. Number four, it actually can inhibit what's called the PAC1 AKT mTOR signaling pathways. These are pro-growth pathways. Beyond that, it's anti-angiogenic, blood vessel supply growth, removing waste, nutrients. Number six, it's actually disrupting the tumor microenvironment. This is a surrounding structure and immune system, and it disrupts all of that, allowing the cancer to be destroyed and eliminated. Finally, it actually inhibits DNA repair. When you're using things like chemotherapy, right, it disrupts the DNA. Here it inhibits the repair and leads to its damage. Those are the 7 anti-cancer mechanisms of ivermectin, well supported in the literature. So if you have cancer, you need to know them. Check out the caption below to find the evidence.
Google sour soap tea and vitamin B17. That also kills cancer.
Did you know the Bible literally says if you care so much about what they think about you, you actually trap yourself and prevent yourself from moving forward in this world? In Proverbs chapter 29, verse 25, it says, the fear of man lays a snare, but whoever trusts in the Lord is safe. You see, you get trapped, you get hung up, you get hindered, you get hampered. You go to your death caring so much about what other people think about you.
This is good.
And the Bible is clear. Don't fear man who can't do anything to you. Fear the one who is eternal, who is strong, who is powerful enough to decide your eternal destiny. And when you do that, what happens is you experience freedom.
Yep.
Because the only one you should fear properly is the one who created you, the one who put the moon and the stars in the sky, the one who tells the ocean when to stop. And when you care so much about what other people think as opposed to what he thinks, you've got it all out of balance, and you will trap yourself.
I'm just starting to learn to let go. It makes no sense to care what people think about you.
Let me talk my a little bit. The distance between what you want and what you have is literally time. I feel like we tell ourselves, oh, I don't want to start doing this because it's going to take forever. I don't want to start losing weight because it's going to take forever. I don't want to start saving up to buy a house because it's going to take forever. I don't want to start doing things because it's going to take me forever. Rather than just taking the first step to start, we tell ourselves it's going to take us forever to get there. Forever. Baby, who is that girl? I have never met a forever, because last time I checked, we do not have forever. We have right now, and the distance between what you have and what you want is literally time. The time you're telling yourself it's going to take for you to achieve these goals is forever. It's going to take you forever to achieve it. But once you tell yourself it's going to take me no time, and I have that shit right now here today, that's when you'll get it. I cooked, I fear. Oh. If you get what I'm trying to say, bro, you literally can do anything, because the distance between what you have and what you want is literally the time you're telling yourself it's gonna take you to achieve it. If you tell yourself it's gonna take you 30 days to lose 10 pounds, you're gonna move with the motion that's gonna take you 30 days. So if you lose 5 pounds by the 15th, you're gonna eat a cookie as a reward. But if you tell yourself it's gonna take me 7 days, a week to lose them same 10 pounds, you're gonna tighten up. You're gonna be stricter. You're gonna move with the motion that's gonna take you 7 days. You're not gonna eat a cookie on day 2 because you lost 2 pounds. You're gonna keep going with the motion. The distance between what you want and what you have is time. Close that gap and you get what you want.
The distance between current and desire is decision and faith. Have faith in Christ alone, folks.
On the edge of the city of Changchun,
Changchun.
a towering monument to the China dream and its demise. Row after row of apartment buildings, largely empty or unfinished.
Why?
People weren't just sold homes, they were sold a lifestyle. They were meant to be shops, international restaurants, a theme park, even a lake. But its developer Evergrande collapsed, with more than £200 billion of debt.
And is electricity? No, mail.
Homeowners are scared to speak out. It can land you in trouble with the police, so we're hiding their identity.
I'm upset and disappointed because we trusted this developer Evergrande. What's happening now is really heartbreaking. I'm just having a hard time turning around our lives because I'm paying so much money into it. It's bleak.
This young couple is stuck with a flat they can't live in, far from the city. They say the government sold them a false dream about China.
It was not realistic at all. I'm very worried about the pressure of life, about the apartment. This is unlivable. I feel I was lied to. We took all our savings and bought the place from Evergrande, and then all the promises were empty.
This is a sensitive subject, so we're followed by police all day, even onto a train to the nearby city of Shenyang. This region is China's Rust Belt.
Oh, look at those houses.
It's also home to an estate of concrete crumbling villas on a scale hard to comprehend. China built too much, too quickly. There are up to 80 million empty flats across the country.
Wow.
Now the government has stepped in, a rescue package, with cheaper loans and lower deposits. And that's not all.
Who wants to buy it?
China is lending local governments money to buy millions of unsold flats and turn them into social housing. It's a bold plan, but it may not go far enough. Because from one end of this country to the other, China is littered with real estate that's falling apart.
Wow.
Real estate is taking a beating, and property tycoons are being toppled.
I was right not buying an Evergrande house.
And people can do little else but watch on as China's economy runs adrift.
You know what? I think China's economy is still one of the fastest growing. Let me know how you feel about this in the comment. All right, folks. Thank you for staying till the end. Be kind to each other. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And don't forget to like or dislike the video so I can make better content. There's a free gift below. And if you want to buy me coffee or support me through Patreon, the links are in the description below. Have a prosperous day. God bless.
I'll be back. I gotta go get my vest. My name Peaches, and I'm gonna be helping you out. Okay? Huh? My name Peaches, Delicious, Deluxe, Lollipop, Pizza Crust Jones, and I'm just letting you know that I'm gonna be helping you out. You want any pink rice or some pink water or something like that?
No, I'm good, bro.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm straight. I could do all this by myself.
No, you can't. It's hot.
No, I could do it.
No,
I'm used to this shit. I'm from down south.
You got pink glass. You got pink in your glasses, so we work fine. Oh my God, I'm excited.
No, I'm straight, bro. I'm good.
Okay, well, when we file out the paperwork, can I just come in and sign out?
Yeah, I'm straight, bro.
No, what I'm saying is, if I don't work with you, I don't get paid. So can you let them know at the end of the day that we did work together?
I don't know what type of time you on, sir, but I'm just trying to clean up, bro.
All right, give me a hug so I can go get my stuff.
I'm straight, bro. I'm straight.
Well, I'll be right back. I gotta work with you today.
Nah, bro.
You don't want to work with me?
No.
Why?
This is my job. I'm trying to clean this up.
I know, but I'm helping you. They want me.
No, I'm cool, bro. I don't need no help. I'm sorry. I already said
Is it my
nicely,
voice?
No, I just trying to do my job.
Okay.
Please.
Leave that over there.
Yeah, like.
All right, can you tell me one of my names that I told you, and I'll leave?
I don't feel like dealing with this. Hey, yo, Alex!
Alex!
I feel uncomfortable as shit.
Why you gonna do me like that, bump?
I don't know you like that, sir.
Alex, he bugging. It's me and him.
I asked you twice to leave, bro. I done asked you.
What happened for the third time?
I'm gonna get security.
Security?
Yes.
Oh, here go Alex. Oh my God, that's Alex?
That's my store manager, Anthony.
Oh my God, Anthony! Oh my God, Anthony! You built like a wrestler in the 70s. Don't feel uncomfortable. I'm nice. Anthony, you're gonna need band-aids over them damn nipples. They poking out at me.
I know, but don't be harassing my associate.
I wasn't harassing him. I was just saying that he need help.
Please
Okay, I'm gonna leave. Anthony, you made my damn day. I'm just gonna walk away. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
All right, have a good one. Get you some band-aids from right. All right, have a good one.